let's get up to Minneapolis as we say hello to our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, it's the newest facility in the NFL, and it is a beauty as we come to you from U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Cleveland Browns and the Minnesota Vikings. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Bradford on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. A good, safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Left. Here we go now. Green, 90.
On 3rd down, Bradford. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Second down, Bradford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The starters for the Cleveland Browns. And let's discuss the tight end, Gary Barnidge. Sometimes he can get overlooked.
I love how he emerged in 2015. We had a scouting report on him that said he was a good blocker, dependable receiver, but no stardom at all. Had a 1,000-yard season in 2015. No longer do we have those shackles on him at all. Gary Barnidge can play.
Tackle made by Everson Griffin. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Linval Joseph is in a hurry to get his name mentioned as one of the top defensive tackles in the game. I think he's accomplishing his goal.
This time, Kessler will throw. Screenplay, Johnson. The 13 yards that time at a first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Seven yards to go on 2nd down. And the quarterback won't take the snap here. This is the Wildcat look. They'll let their receiver run it out of the Wildcat. It's caught. It's Barnidge over the middle. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
Here we go.
Out of the Wildcat, a wide receiver carry. And he is into the end zone. Touchdowns out. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Time to feature the offensive starters and to give some love to the tight end, Kyle Rudolph.
He's been to the Pro Bowl already, battled a few injuries.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Christian Kirksey in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And on third down, the Browns going to go with a nickel set. Third and long for Bradford. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
Left, left. Green, 90. Green, 90.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a first down. First down, Bradford. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. You know, I did want to ask you about the game you called this past weekend, Week 10. You had 15 punts in that contest between the Jets and Rams.
Lachlan Edwards for the Jets. The star of the day was Johnny Hecker for the Rams, averaged over 50 yards a punt, including a 78-yarder. And when you uncork a 78-yard punt, you should dance like their fellow punter, Marquette King of the Oakland Raiders. He dances like no one is watching.
Well, you made it sound like it was a great game. There's only 1 touchdown, 3 field goals.
Yeah, but 78 yards. Got to give it up for that.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Blue 45. Ace.
Bradford now to throw on first down. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's second down.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? 'Cause that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love it.
And he's able to find Diggs. A good pickup there at 22.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Bradford throwing the slant pattern here, complete. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
One receiver left, two to the right. They run once more with McKinnon. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Good play here. 3rd down and goal. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Jerick McKinnon taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And it's up and good. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Back onto the field now come the Cleveland Browns, who have started this season 0-10. First time that's happened in their history since they started back in 1950.
And speaking of history, aren't they in danger of going below 500 as a franchise?
Yeah, for the first time ever, they've had 461 wins and 461 losses.
It's absolutely unbelievable because, remember, Paul Brown started this franchise. The All-American Football Conference, ran roughshod there, went into the NFL. They thought they couldn't compete with the big boys, won an NFL title their first year, and plenty more after.
Isaiah Crowell, he's all alone. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. Yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
All right, partner, I want to check in on a talking point we had week 1. Dark horse playoff contenders. You threw out Oakland and Jacksonville. Oakland's still looking good.
Boy, they're living up to it, tied for first in the AFC West. How about Jacksonville? Really struggling right now at 2-7. I don't know what they're going to do to bump things up. But how about the NFC West? The Rams said they weren't going to be 7-9 this year. They're 4-5, but they need to make their push starting right now. And no one talked about Detroit in the preseason. Matthew Stafford and the Lions are 5-4 and ahead in the NFC North.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Bradford on first down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down after a good game. Give him 27 yards that time. And it'll be a Minnesota first down.
Black 58, Rail. Black 50. Black 58, Rail.
On 1st and 10, Bradford toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And on 2nd and 10 now.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, Bradford again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. So a big roughing the passer penalty, Charles, and of course that's 15 yards.
And everyone knows how protected the quarterbacks are. You've got to make sure that when you launch at a quarterback that you're hitting him in the right spot and in the right time.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. One receiver left, two to the right.
Ready. Blue 45. Blue 45.
From the red zone now, Bradford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And that's going to be incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Ready. Blue 45. Blue 45.
On 3rd down, Bradford. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And it's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They begin with a run by Crowell. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And they're going to speed things up here. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Six yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
After the penalty, it's Crowell. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Going for the deep ball. This is intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They come up in a 2 tight end look here.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Now a handoff looking right. And that formation won't yield much here as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line.
On second down, here's Kessler. A screen complete to Crowell. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing now, Kessler on first down. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. Adding it up after 10 weeks prior, 51 catches, 627 yards. You know, between he and Corey Coleman, the receiver position really may be the only bright spot for the Browns this year.
And it's only going to get brighter because Terrell Pryor's in his first full year as a wide receiver, and you know he's going to get nothing but better. And don't forget Corey Coleman, a first-round draft choice, lost time due to a broken hand. And don't forget Gary Barnidge, one of the better pass-catching tight ends in the league.
And Parkey's kick is good. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken very short. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Come on, let's go.
On second down, here's Crowell. They find some open field here. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, so much for halftime adjustments by the defense, because you know they had to talk about it. The entire first half, they struggled to contain him. And here he is coming out in the second half and establishing the same tone. Still running the football with authority, still gaining big yardage. So I just figure on the offensive side, they said there is no adjustment. Until they slow us down, keep going at them, keep handing them the football.
On second down, Johnson. And some space here. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 22.
Little pitch play, toss play. Allows the running back get some vision and some big guys to get out in front. This time they did it to the right side.
Yeah, went to the right side. Is there a preference, right or left, for a lot of these guys that run the ball at this level?
I know in the good old days, most teams were constructed to run to the right side. I can't tell you exactly why. That was the power side. The left side was what they used to call the quick side. But in this case, the power won.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Shift together here from the D-line. They'll toss it to Crowell. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Now let's go.
They'll try to run for it with Crowell. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. 4-6 defense, they were daring him to run the football. They ran it. A little football 101. Take us through what the 4-6 defense is, Charles.
So what you're trying to do with your big defensive front is cover the interior offensive lineman, the center, and the 2 guards, and make it difficult if you even want to think about running the...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. Okay, that incompletion gives me a chance to get your thoughts on Cleveland. Is there a win on that schedule for the Browns?
I think that there is, because I just don't see this team as an 0-16 team. There is talent there. Obviously, Joe Thomas at left tackle and Joe Hayden at corner. I mean, they've got some players on the squad. But the bottom line is, when you have this bad momentum going, how do you reverse it? You know the game I'm identifying? San Diego coming to Cleveland, Christmas Eve. Long trip, warm weather team going into the cold of Cleveland. That could be the one.
One receiver left, 2 to the right. Throwing again, Bradford on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's always a good play when you're able to bat a ball away or down, because if you actually tip it in the air, now the offense is getting a second shot at catching the football, or another receiver may come along and grab it out of the air and turn it into a big play. So if you make a play on the ball, make sure it's knocked away or down. Otherwise, there could be some jeopardy.
15 yards through the air and a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Ace, ace.
Bradford again. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable. Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Cordero Patterson from 8 yards out. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he gets it to go, and we're all even, 17 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
A gain of 3, second down. Back now at beautiful new U.S. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Again, it's Crowell. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Isaiah Crowell, he's all alone. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Isaiah Crowell, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns have moved out in front. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. A second down throw for Bradford. Looking right sideline, that's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
It's a gain of 20 that time, and it'll give the Vikings a first down. One receiver left, 2 to the right.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And the back goes into motion. Bradford on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. Give him 16 on the pickup, and that leads to a Minnesota first down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop. .10 yards still left on second down.
To the air again with Bradford. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Cordero Patterson with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Crowell. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him. I think we can make this one pretty simple. That was a rookie mistake made by the rookie quarterback, trying to force a pass without really using proper mechanics.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 3rd down, Kessler, screen play, Johnson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. The Browns are going for it. Kessler, this is complete to Hawkins. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. And a sigh of relief on that sideline right now because that was a tricky call to go for it here in OT, but they got it.
I think it tells us about the mindset of them, though. They decided that they had to go ahead and win the game right now. Didn't want to turn the ball over, give them any other opportunities. One time, one shot, keep the ball, and they went for it and got it.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Time running out here on the play clock. Here's Kessler. And a hook up over the middle to Pryor. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. A first down carry now for Crowell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll run it again with Crowell. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Here's Kessler to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it